representatives in play on this one issue.
Well, then, Bill, okay, if they have, I mean, no matter how you spin it and you say it's reform or not reform, if the White House says, yeah, we're going to help them cut it a little bit, don't you lose at least the rhetorical advantage, let alone the policy, which I don't necessarily agree with?
No, I think if you look at the president's plan, you see what the reality is, Cenk. I mean, the president's not going to go out and say, we're just not going to touch Medicare because it's peachy keen, it's rosy. There's some problems with Medicare and with Social Security and with, you know, the whole...
Which they would not have acknowledged if the Republicans hadn't forced them to, Bill. You know that's true.
But again, the answer is not to kill them, and that's what the Republicans
I know. The answer is to kick it down the road 6 more years. I know. It always is. 4 more years to kick it down the road.
Christina, look, you know, there's the conflicting things here. In Washington, they say, oh, you got to cut the deficit. You got to show people you're serious. On the other hand, the Democrats seem to be winning on the Medicare issue. So politically, how does that split? How does that work? Is the White House convinced, well, even though we're winning on Medicare, and I think they are convinced that they are doing that, we still got to bite the bullet because the deficit issue is what? More important to the country? More important to Washington? How does it play out?
I mean, I think they recognize the deficit is important. That's why the president has said that that's what he wants to focus on this year. But consider what Obama has done in many cases. He's compromised on tax breaks for the wealthy, which he said he campaigns about taking those away, and he signed a plan that continued to extending them. That's because he's working with the Republicans. And I think that he is under a little bit of pressure. If they come to him with some legitimate plan that can cut this, he's going to have to take a serious look at that, in part because of his re-election hopes, but in part because people do want to actually get something done in Washington, and he'll have to face that question if it's just politics or if he wants to get something done.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
He only has to deal with the right because he's forced to now. Remember, he didn't want to talk to the right until he lost the House.
Right.
Obama is
I would get things done in a different way, but I hear you guys. All right, we got to leave it right there. Bill Press, Heidi Harris, Christina Bellantoni, thank you so much, all of you.
Thanks, Cenk.
Now, when we come back.